Let's get into lessons and never losses, right? That's a big statement, right?
Copy.
And most people, they I mean, you know, it's losses in life, of course, but what this statement is saying, by you saying that, is like everything. If it's a lesson learned in that loss, then it's not a loss.
Right.
Okay.
Hell
so
yeah.
how did you come up with that?
I mean, it was just one of them things, like from just the experience of being locked up, like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, you know, I first of all, I got my degree when I was in there,
wow.
you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I learned a lot about myself, you know what I mean? So it was kind of fitting when I came out, and it was like, yo, what would you name the album? It was like, yo, you know, it just happened like that. And it was like, yeah, that's exactly how my life been headed, you know what I mean?
And you did this independent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
you got samples on there, though.
I appreciate it.
You got samples on there, though.
Facts. You're on the run right now. Hell yeah.
So I'm listening to this album, and like it's like when Shine came home, like I felt like he lost a step. Like I feel like that takes away from you not being and be able to touch the world. But I'm listening, and I can't see that with you.
Whoa.
Like I see,
coming
like
from you, bro.
Like I'm dead serious. So, like I'm sitting here, like I'm at awe. Like I'm sitting here listening to both albums.
Whoa.
And I'm like, yo. So what was you? You was rhyming in the can? You kept.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like
Okay.
I definitely was like, it wasn't really no point that I could say I stopped. You know what I mean? Like, you know, unless you know how creative.
Yeah.
You know, things don't flow sometimes, but for the most part, like I always kept at it. You know what I mean?
Now was you laying music down in the can too? Was you making music in there? Because now everybody got a studio.
Yeah, that's
like.
a fact. I don't know how they doing it. You know what I'm saying? But
Bob's dropped the whole movie from jail.
Word, like I'm like, yo, but you know, I definitely did. I actually did lay something down over the phone. You know, it was kind of makeshift, but you know, dudes made it happen. It was like, you know, you record it, and then like, you know, dudes would go back and you know, kind of chop everything up. You know what I'm saying? So we did record some stuff. So I was kind of like, when I came home, I was kind of in the record mode. You know what I mean?
Right. And so did you have to like practice records, or you went straight in and went straight to the booth when you came home?
Yeah, nah, I kind of was like already kind of seasoned. Like we had just did an album. We did an album in 2023, right? Like right before I came home.
Okay.
A joint called Influential.
Okay.
From there.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
From, you know what I'm saying? And so when I came home, I was kind of like right with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that was kind of how it was, like kind of easy transition in a way, you know?
Because obviously when you went away, you was on the hottest record label, like arguably on the planet. I mean, was it hard to come home and transition into this independent thing?
Nah, I mean, not really. I mean, I had some good production. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Lean Brothers. You know what I'm saying? Cover One and the boys, man. They definitely helped the process, because you know, I was, like you said, I was used to a certain thing, you know, as far as music. But like, before I went in, before I went in, I was kind of already like going, you know, doing the independent thing, like, you know what I mean? Like I was, you know, going through what I was going through, and you know, with the drugs and all of that. So it wasn't really like I was doing the thing with Bad Boy like that at the time anyway. So I kind of knew what that independent life was like. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody told me that you had a slight drug problem, but I never seen that. So. Was that you hiding it, or you overthinking it?
Yeah, nah. I mean, I definitely was what you call like a functional addict.
Okay.
Kind of dude. I always kind of knew that I had to do things. I had children,
right?
So you know, I always tried to support myself, type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but you know, I did have a drug issue. You know what I mean? I gotta admit that. You know,
you had it when you went in. Did you have to kick it inside?
Yeah. I definitely was, you know, still on drugs. You know what I'm saying? When I went in, you know what I mean? I was, you know, messing with that dust and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, so when I went in, it was kind of like, you know, it ain't no more dust around. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah. So here we go. You know what I mean? So, and then it was one of them things where I kind of, it was like, all right, well, what are you getting so high for now? You know what I mean? So gradually, I kind of just stepped away from a lot of that stuff. You know what I mean? Word.
And I'd imagine that the music was kind of, because you said you continued writing and trying to make music. It must have been therapeutic too to help with time.
Hell yeah. I mean, it wasn't like I was actually writing about anything, but it's just the energy that that I had to exude to kind of do that stuff. It was therapeutic for sure. Hell yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something that I'm not sure if you know. I go on Black Twitter, right? Black Twitter's the most negative place on the planet, right? It's Twitter. I go to the nigga section, right? I go to there.
I'll give it actually like they got a Black Twitter.
The first day I seen Black Twitter like be positive was the day you came home. That was the only time I didn't see people like. So I'm looking for the hate. I'm looking for somebody like, fuck this guy. Like, and I was like, the first time. So I want to ask you, do you feel the love from the streets? Because the streets fuck with you. Like,
right.
Like they were genuinely happy you came home. Like,
I ain't gonna lie. I'm listening.
Yeah, you felt that?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Okay. Like. Honestly, I was, I'm surprised as well. Like, like you said, I'm looking for it. Like, damn, but brothers, I think, it hit like a spiritual vein in a lot of people. Right. You know what I'm saying? And dudes just related. They didn't relate when I first did it though.
Right.
When I first turned myself in, it was crazy. They was like, like what?
People thought you were out of your mind.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like you know what I mean. So especially being in there, you know what I mean. Like I had to explain myself, a lot of, to different times,
right,
things of that nature, and after a while, it seemed like as time went on, I would run into brothers and they used to be like, yo, I kind of understand where you coming from, like, you know what I mean? Especially people that caught, like, had, like, killed people and had bodies and stuff like that.
They kind of relate to whatever you were feeling that made you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people that didn't have that kind of situation in jail was like, yo, what was, like, I don't understand, like, you know what I mean? And I had to, like, yo, listen, did you ever do something like that,
Right.
And brothers was like, well, nah, you know what I mean? So, it was one of them things.
And I mean, that was something real honorable shit, like because like most people would have just let that shit go.
Yeah.
And so was it guilt?
I mean, I think it was more like balance.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Balance?
Yeah, okay. Like balance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like, I was blessed. I had, I remember sitting at the table. I had my children around me. Right. Like, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, survivor's guilt is crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy,
man. Yeah, it's like, damn. So it was one of them things. Like, after a while, I started thinking like, yo, I should at least try to get that, make it right in some type of way. You know what I mean?
Do you huddle up with the family before you make that move and say, this is what I'm about to do?
Now, what family you talking about? His family or
his family?
Okay.
Well, I kind of, spoke on it a little bit, not kind of right, like at the time when I was doing it, but I had spoke, yo, what if, you know what I'm saying? Like, I did this back in the days. What if I would just turn myself in for that? Like, what would you think about that? And, nah, that's really, that's in the past and, stuff like that, So I was weighing my options for a while.
That must have been tough with your kids. Like, it's going to change everybody's life once you go.
If a friend stepped to you with that same thing, would you tell them to turn themselves in?
I probably would say, nah, man.
I don't think so.
To be honest with you, I'd be like, but again, like, we wouldn't understand.
We wouldn't understand.
What was weighing on them,
Right.
I mean, I guess you had to be going through it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things that, like, a lot of people say, yo, I don't know if I could have did that. I think if you was in my shoes and the creator put that in your spirit, you might have did it too. So you know what I mean? So I just be like, I don't really know what to say to it at the time. I just tell them it's my experience.
And your path. That's your path. Yeah.
Right. That's the most honorable shit I've ever heard in my life, bro. Like,
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? Like,